What's up, people? Boys, let's talk about the Chanter, and let me show you the Chanter skills from the NCSoft latest live stream where they reveal the Chanter, and I got the skills for you and I made the translation and I'm gonna explain one by one. Guys, I'm an AION 1 veteran player with 15 years of experience and my main class was the Chanter. So at the end of the video, I can give you the nice conclusion. Does the AION 2's Chanter look same fun and powerful class to play like it was in AION 1? And by the way, if you're interested with this class, hit the subscribe button for this channel, because once the game will comes out on the Korea and Taiwan, I'm gonna bomb this channel with the most hardcore guidelines you can ever see. Alright, let's move to the main topic. First, you need to know how AION 2 skills works. Every class skill in this game have same pattern for description. Does not matter is it Chanter, is it Assassin or any class. First you see the name and level bar, but we don't know it yet what is the maximum enchant level for the skills. On the developers live stream I could see the skill levels for like a level 4 or like a level 20, like a 21, so we don't know the limit yet. After the name, you can see the text like an engine, which means the chain. If you see the skill have this type of the name tag, it means that this skill is the chain or the specialization made it like a chain. And you can use it with the combination of the different skill, or once you will activate this skill, it have its chain connection. I love this feature, guys, because today's MMORPGs the skill limitation is so high, and such kind of the effects like such kind of the features when you have the chain effect, which is make the connection between the other skills, or it's increase the rotations for the each skill itself, gives you a lot of possibility, and it's kind of loophole, you know, you can use way more skills than it's just showing on the panel. It is so good feature and I'm so happy that we will have it in AION 2. Second, on the skill description comes the skill identification. In this matter you will face the different identity to the different skills, such as is the skill physical or the magical, is it attack or the cast, is it buff or debuff to the enemy. Third section is about the skill description itself and tells you the full description for the skill. It also indicates itself the structure of the skill, like is this skill for the non-target, is it skill for the target one, can you do it while you're moving, or it locks you in animation. The fourth section is about a skill specialization, like the latest example Throne and Liberty, when you could power up your skill with extra bonus effects. Same was in Arcade, and many MMORPGs have such kind of the feature, and it is so good. It gives you a lot of flexibility in the combat. And the final section we have the backstage structure, such as how much mana you are using if you will use this skill, what is the cooldown for the skill, how many players it can hit, and such basic details. By the way, guys, remember we have 4 normal skills, 4 stigma skills, and 4 locked skills on the Q, on the E, on the mouse left and right buttons. Each class also have the 40 skills, so you can swap your normal and stigma skills based on your situation. For example, if you want to go to 1 versus 1 arena, you are just taking the single target damage skills and you are just focusing for that. If you want to go to the mass fight or mass farm, you're taking more our type of the skills. And as a Chanter, if you want to be the more support class, you can take more supportive skills. This is really good option, and you can all the time modify your class so you will never get bored. Alright guys, now let's move and reveal each skill one by one. Mantras can be activated once and it will stay up until you die, or some high powerful mantras have to be activated some multiple times. Mantras by itself are the shared active buff for every party members in 40-meter distance from you. This is so cool type of the skills, and this gives the Chanter special ability to be powerful and useful in the party. Alright, let's go and let's start it with the first mantra, which is the power of the storm, and this is the type of the mantra which I told you need to activate it a couple of times. After you activate this mantra, you and your party members in 40 meters will get a 20-second buff, which increase your speed 50%, your accuracy by 200 and critical hit by 200, and it gives you guys 20% attack power. This for all party members for 20 seconds. And recast time for this is the 1 minute and 36 seconds. Guys, this is so powerful skill, so you cannot have it like a permanent buff until you die. But the second mantra, which is a bit less powerful, the invisible mantra, is this type of the mantra. When you will activate it, it will be stays up as a buff until you die, for you and for your party members. It's increased the attack power by 40.5%, it's increased the defense for 14.5%, it's increased the critical hit by 15%, and increased the damage resistance by 5%, and damage amplification by 5%. While you have the mantra activated, it also gives you the 5% mana consumption for you and for your party members. The recast time is 5 seconds, so if you just activate the mantra and in 1 second you die and you get rest, you need to wait like 3 seconds to reactivate it. And third mantra, which is also the permanent mantra until you die, is the mantra of the speed. This is a speed related mantra. For you and all of your party members in the 40-meter radius, once you will activate this mantra, it's increased the movement speed for 19.5%, flight power recovery for 20%, and action power recovery by 20%. I think it is the stamina. Also, you will get to 25% the slow resistance and bind resistance 25%. Each have the 5 second recast time, and as I said guys, once you will activate these, this will stay up until you die. Now let's go to the normal and stigma skills. First normal skill, we have the rush defeat. This is the physical attack skill and it is the insta cast, so you don't have to cast it. This skill is not the target skill, it's not the AOE skill, you just have to aim it, you know, and you have to charge it. Once you will do it, it will hit the 4 enemies in front of you in 20-meter distance and will deal 6,970 to 7,560 damage. And if the hit will be the critical, it will ignore the block and evasion for the enemy. You have specialization for this, and if you modify it as the charging skill and you will charge it, you are gaining extra 60% damage. And there is a 50% chance for activation Ace Smash, which will modify this skill as a chain. Cooldown is 50 seconds, so yeah, you can spam this so good. Next chain normal skill, we have the strike chain, which is the physical attack skill, and it have the weakening effect. This skill deals 6,601 to 7,104 damage to the target in 20 meters. This is a single target skill and has 70% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds, and the target will take the debuff and it will hit him 757 damage over time every 1 second for next 5 seconds. This skill you can use it while you are moving, so it does not have animation lock. The cast time for this is instant and the cooldown is the 50 seconds. This is crazy powerful skill, I think, and I love this type of the low cooldown and I love this type of the instant skills on the Chanter. Third normal skill, what they show us is the healing spell. This is a magical buff type of the skill, and once you will activate this skill, it will heal your party members, yourself and your party members, in 40-meter radius with then 1,556 to 1,712 HP, and it will also add the buff like a restoration buff, which will gives you 510 HP over time every 2 seconds for next 8 seconds. With an activation of the specialization, you can increase the buff duration for the 4 seconds, and you can add the effects such as 10% of maximum HP extra restoration. This skill have a 12-second cooldown. Next two skill, we have the stigma type of the skills, and first is the rotation. This is the physical attack skill which deals huge amount of the damage, 10,164 to 10,912 damage up to 4 enemies with the 4-meter distance around you, and it will gather those people in front of you with a 2-meter distance and bind them for the 3 seconds. There is a 50%, then you can bind those targets also. And if your hit will be the critical, it restores your mana and it increases the skill speed. I think this is the cooldown for the same skill for 30%. With the specialization, you can increase the damage for this skill up to 20%, and you can increase the extra 50% chance for bind the target. And if the skill will be the critical hit one, it will ignore the block and evasion. It just have the 30-second cooldown, boys. This is amazing. And most powerful stigma skill, the last and final skill which they revealed, we have Extinction, which is the physical attack skill with the weakening debuff. It deals 9,486 to 11,625 damage up to 4 enemies with 4-meter radius with the 70% chance to knock them down. And with the critical hit, it's have the skill speed by 20%, and again I think this is the cooldown for this skill. With the specialization, you can give this skill guaranteed critical hit chance and increase the 25% for the failing knockdown chance. This skill is crazy amazing. This is the stigma skill and it's have 1 minute cooldown. Now let's move to the 4 locked skills. Boys, they only showed us mouse left and right skills description. Sadly, they did not take the mouse to the Q and E, so I don't have the description for those skills, but I have a description for the left and right mouse buttons locked skills. And first one is the Instant Strike, which is the physical attack chain skill, and it deals a 2346 to 2528 damage up to 4 enemies in 4-meter radius. This is a non-targetable skill and it can be cast while you are moving. With the specialization, you can unlock some specific powers such as block increase 200, and you can even increase the damage up to 12% based on the number of enemies you will hit. And with the modification of the skill to Pearl Strike, you can decrease the hit chance by the enemies for 200 for 3 seconds, so you can make it as a weakening debuff also. And if you will activate it with the Shattering Strike, it's have the 10% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds. This is a multicast skill and this is the chain, so it's have solo cooldown and you can just spam it. Second lock skill on the mouse click, we have the Shattered. This is a physical attack chain skill, deals 1748 to 1884 damage up to 4 enemies with the 4-meter radius and restores your mana for 120. Also, when you're hitting on the target, it's reduced the time for your Spin Slim skill by 1 second. With a specialization, you can increase your mana power recovery up to 20%, and you can add the life steal feature, which is 7% damage to take into your life. This is also casual use chain skill. And final skill, guys, we have, which was a difference between Korea and Taiwan in live stream, is the healing mantra. You can swap your mantras, so you can take the different type of the mantras and there will be the number of type of the mantras. This is a healing mantra, which is magical buff type of the skill, and every time you or your teammate in the party member will get hit, let's have the 15% activation chance, 15% activation chance to recovers you for 392 to 431 HP. Cooldown is the 1 second between of those heals for each your party member, and with the specialization you can increase the recovery chance up to 20%. You can also increase the receive healing 5%, and you can increase the combat and non-combat recovery by 100. This mantra is also the permanent mantra, and once you will activate it, it will be up until you will die. That was all skill, boys, and now let me tell you what I think about the Chanter. Guys, I love this class, man. You was just watching its combat and gameplay and you can see how smooth it is. Although those skills and mantras are so cool, and I'm sure there is an other option for the mantras. And because of these such powerful mantras, I'm sure you will never have a spot problem in any party anywhere. And as a chanter, you have also the healing skill options, which will be helpful for your group or for yourself. Guys, we don't know anything about the rest skills from that main 40 skills, but I'm sure it can give you the more option to push the chanter as the support class with more healing skills and healing mantras, or you can push it with the single target damage burst or even massive target damage burst. And you can be the full toxic and you can choose as much CC skills and abilities as you can. Guys, I love this class. It was amazing in AION 1 and I see the same chanter spirit in AION 2. This will be my main class for Korean release and also for the global release. Of course, I will test the all classes and give you more detailed reviews once the game will comes out, but the chanter reviews will be the god tier on my channel. So if you don't want to miss such videos, hit the subscribe button for my channel and join us in AION 2's global community Discord. Again, boys, I'm an AION 1 veteran player with the 15 years of experience, and if this game is new for you, it's just another expansion for me. That's it for today, and as always, see you in the next video.